First up, extrajudicial killings never existed, said President Irfaan Ali. Guyana's President Irfaan Ali today said that extrajudicial killings never existed under the previous PPP administration as he responded to questions from the media on the police's latest shooting death of a Essequibo businessman in Boston. Many believe that Boston killings signal a return of extrajudicial killings, which were evident in the early 2000s when the PPP held office. Those occurrences were well documented by Amnesty International and the U.S. State Department and were subject of many protests held by several civil groups such as Mourning Family and Friends in White and relatives of the deceased. However, President Ali, in his response, said there can be no return to something that never existed.
So let me start from that. So you can't return to something that never existed. You can't, if you're starting from a foundation of lies, you can't return to the foundation of lies. So I'm not going to go beyond that in responding to this because there's no basis to respond to it. It has been dismantled. It is a foundation of lies. And I'm not going to return to something that never existed in the first place. Thank you.
He said the narrative that was created of extrajudicial killings was a disgusting narrative aimed at discrediting the then PPP government.
Let me be very clear on this. The propaganda that was used in the past about extrajudicial killing was dismantled. There was an entire publication, I think, in Starbuck News of every single name and the reasoning behind and the analysis of every single name. In that list, they did not have only Afro-Guyanese. So I'm not going to go back to a position with a false basis. This has been proven. The narrative that was created about extrajudicial killing was a disgusting narrative aimed at discrediting the PPP civic government. It was a disgusting narrative aimed at discrediting the PPP civic government. It has no basis, it was not factual, and we have dismantled this. And for a very long time, it did not come up back after that publication because the world saw that this was just used as a political tool to discredit the PPP. Our vision in government is to bring this country together. Our vision in government is to develop Guyana in a peaceful environment, in an environment in which every Guyanese enjoys prosperity.
Some of the stories that come to mind are the 2002 killing of Shaka Blair, who was shot dead by the police in his home in front of his family at Buxton. Junior Drake Stanton, who was shot dead by the police in a guest house at High Street on May 2001. University of Guyana student Yuancy Douglas, who was shot dead by ranks on Sheriff Street in 2003. Antonio Houston and his two friends, John Bruce and Steve Grant, were riddled with bullets on Mandela Avenue by members of the Target Special Squad, and the South Road shooting death of 3 youths from All Boys Town in the vicinity of KNVC Hotel in 2013. Let's tell you another 2 killing Buckhall accident, 2 seriously injured. A truck driver and 1 other person were killed at Buckhall in an accident, while 2 other occupants of the vehicle were admitted as patients suffering from injuries to their head and bodies. Dead are Nigel Headley, the owner and driver of the truck, and Amir Nazim. Ramos Albert and Malvern Thomas are now critically injured. The police are reporting that their inquiries revealed that the motor lorry GPP 2787 was proceeding east along the northern side of the trail, loaded with timber and the occupants in the tray. After descending a hill and while in the process of climbing another, the vehicle developed a problem and was unable to climb. This caused the lorry to roll backward down the hill. Efforts were made by the driver to control the vehicle which then slipped off the trail and turned over into a creek on the northern side. The 52-year-old driver of Essequibo Coast and occupant Nazim were pinned in the vehicle. With the assistance of an excavator and public spirited persons, they were all taken out of the vehicle and transported to Buckhall Landing, then to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where they were seen and examined by a doctor on duty. Headley and Nazim were pronounced dead on arrival, while the other two occupants were admitted as patients suffering from injuries to their heads and bodies. The bodies of the deceased are presently lying at Ezekiel Funeral Parlor awaiting post-mortem examination.
Regionally, news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinidadian Guardian has reported that Health Minister Terence Dial Singh has admitted that the majority of people who have so far refused to become vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus are from the Christian faith. Making the disclosure during the Ministry of Health's media briefing yesterday as he responded to questions, Dial Singh said, "When we talk to people and do our surveys, the bulk of the people who seem to be vaccine hesitant are from the Christian faith." Claiming he had been taken aback after hearing a Christian pastor on a radio station discouraging persons from being vaccinated, the minister went on, "My fear is what is happening behind the scenes." He added, "The way the Bible and the teachings of the Bible have been interpreted or misinterpreted, there are many such pastors doing that both in Trinidad and Tobago." In recognizing the vaccine hesitancy among the population, Dial Singh said the Ministry of Health had changed its communication strategy and now had a new slogan of "Don't delay, vaccinate today." In late August, Roman Catholic Archbishop Jason Gordon urged people to stop listening to misinformation as he pleaded with citizens to get vaccinated to save Trinidad and Tobago from social and economic ruin. He said, "I'm asking you to please get vaccinated. There is serious information circulating that is stopping people from being vaccinated." At the time, he advised citizens to listen to the experts and to the science before making their choice to vaccinate. He told them that there is no science that says you will get a chip in your arm from Bill Gates or that China will be able to track you. There is no science in that whatsoever. We know that 99.3% of the people who have died from COVID-19 from May this year were unvaccinated people. That is the science. The undisputed fact is unvaccinated people are dying at a higher rate than vaccinated people. That is the fact. You cannot dispute the numbers. And said people were not understanding the science and were trapped in Facebook algorithms that bombarded them with misinformation. For those who were confused, Archbishop Gordon urged them to follow the lead of their church elders and get vaccinated. Back then, he also slammed theological leaders who were against vaccinations, believing the blood of Jesus would protect them from COVID. For these and other stories, do visit us at our website at www.rdproductionsgy.com.